How important is the collections bonus on Sorare going to be this upcoming season? In this video, I'll be discussing the importance of the collections bonus and how I've configured my gallery to take advantage of the bonuses for this upcoming new season. Hope you enjoy the video, leave a like if you do, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So a couple of months back, Sorare announced a collections bonus, which basically meant cards now get attributed points for being, for example, in your collection, 10 points. You've not transferred or listed the card in 90 days, you also get 10 points for that. It's a new card, so you've bought it yourself and no one else, or you've won it actually, and no one else has ever owned that card bar you, and you get 20 points for that. If it's a special edition card, you get 20 points as well. If it's a 1 of 100 or 1 of 10 or 1 of 1,000 card, you also get 30 points. And you also get 30 points if the card is a jersey mint. So if the card is a 1 of 100 card and the player's number is 1, then you've got a jersey mint and you've got a 1 of 100 basically, which would be 60 points. And it's definitely changed a lot of strategies, I think, on Sorare as far as collecting cards, bigger galleries, and how we can manipulate this strategy in a way that is going to allow you to win more cards and be better at the game. Down here we can see the amount of points needed to increase the bonus on the cards, right? So you need 35 points to get a 1% bonus, you need 100 points for 2%, 250 points for 3%, 500 points get you 4%, and 750 points or more get you 5% collectible bonus on that card. The highest collection bonus I have in my gallery right now is the Euro Red Diamond from the J League. I'm currently on 290 points, so I'm 10 points away from getting my badge. But I'm firmly in the 3% bonus, which is decent. I've got like 5 or 6 cards, so I've got a couple of 1 of 100s. I've got a 1 of 100, well, 2 1 of 100 goalkeepers. Got this defender here who's 1 of 100 as well, so he gets me 60 points. I've got this Alguara card that only gets me 10 points, but he will get me 20 points after I've not listed him for another, 68 days. Down here, I've got a Kazumi, who's a 1 of 100 as well. And then I have a Kuroki over here that only gets me 10 points. But in 30 odd days, I'll get 20 points for him. So I will get over that 300 points mark. It'll be very tough for me to get to that 500 points mark and get that 4% unless I start buying more cards, basically. But this is why I wanted to make the video, because everyone's conflicted on, what is the sweet spot? How many points or how many percentage bonuses should I be aiming for on my collections? And yeah, the most I have right now is 3% on that. I've got 2% on my Nottingham Forest collection. As you can see here, I've got Nico Williams, a Willy Bowley, a Ryan Yates jersey mint, which is pretty nice, gets me 40 points, and then a Brennan Johnson down here. In terms of my strategy, I'm pretty happy if I've got 2 to 3%, on a collection, if that makes sense. Being an under 23 gallery, I don't see the collection bonus really making that much of a difference. As far as stacks go, there's not many under 23 stacks, so we're not going to see a full Arsenal stack, or because the goalkeeper's not under 23, for example. You might see a few outfielder stacks like a Saka, Martinelli, and whatever, and there is going to be bigger percentage bonuses if somebody's collected the whole Arsenal stack, like Nepenthes, for example, and he plays his Saka and Martinelli in under 23. Well, they're both going to get 5% extra because he has the whole collection, right? At rare level, I don't really seeing it make that much of a difference. At limited level, I do think the collection bonus could impact things and scores greatly, right? If you've got you name it, any stack, an Ajax stack, a Feyenoord stack, whatever it is, and you've got 5% on those cards, well then if you're playing the whole stack in Challenger Limited or All-Star Limited, whatever it is, you've got 25% bonus across those 5 cards if they're all on 5%. Which is a big difference as long as those cards are scoring well, In my head, it doesn't matter how much bonus you've got on a card, really, unless it's a good card. If it doesn't score that well, the bonuses don't really matter too much. They obviously do to a degree, but I still think a really good card with, not much bonus beats a very average card with a great bonus, right? And to be honest, I've tried my best to get to, the 2 to 3% mark on a few of my collections. I've got my Southampton boys up to 2%, which I'm happy about. But, as somebody with a bit of a streamlined gallery, I only have, 71 rare cards, 38 super rares, and 1 unique, it's hard enough to get the collection bonus on the rares. You can forget it with the super rares, it's impossible almost to get big collection bonuses on those super rares. I'm lucky I have a 1 of 100, or 1 of 10, Jorbe Vertessen, which means, he gets quite a few points on his own. And yeah, I'm at 1% right now. I need 30 more points to get to 2%. I'm just not too bothered really with the super rares. The rares will make a difference, and I'm not a limited player, so it's hard for me to like, say this as gospel because I don't play in those divisions. But, there's more supply down there. There's more cards, right? So more people are going to have big collection bonuses. They're going to have, the whole Celtic stack or the whole Arsenal or whole Chelsea or whoever it is, you name it. It's just a lot easier and a lot cheaper to get full teams down there. And that's where I think, it is going to be very difficult to win on given game weeks if you don't have decent enough collection bonuses, especially if you're stacking as well. I think you're going to see a load of stacks. You see stacks everywhere in every division, right? But you're going to see like 5-man stacks a lot in limited because there is a collectability bonus to them. You're going to get your 25% collectible bonus if you've got 5% on them. That is assuming. And then, you've got the fitness bonus to come into that. You've got the card bonus itself. And then you've got the new season bonus. So, there's bonuses everywhere now. It's getting a bit crazy. And I don't think the collectible bonus is going to be that significant in rare, like I've kind of said. And my strategy on it is, I'm only really focused on under 23s, under 23 rare, under 23 rare pro, and under 23 super rare. I am interested in playing the cap modes. And Sorare have recently announced that all bonuses, apply now in cap 240 and cap 220 and cap 270. They already did in cap 270, but they didn't in 220 and 240, but now they do. So the collectible bonus is going to, make a difference over there. And, for me, I am needing to take advantage of that somewhat. And, my goalkeeper, when the J League sort of restarts, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm trying to type Nishikawa. So yeah, for example, this Nishikawa here is on 12%. He's a new season card, so he gets his 5%. He's on level 8 as a card, so he gets a 4%. And collectability, he gets a 3%. So there's your 12%. And that's only going to grow because it's a new season card. The fitness bonus isn't in yet, but that will range from 10% to 0, basically. So let's add 10% to that. That's a 22% rare card going into the cap modes. If you've got that on every single one of your cards, for cap 240, for example, the chances of you hitting the capped is just a lot higher. Your cards are just going to gain way more points, as long as they're scoring decently, well enough as well. Because if your card only scores like 35 points and you're getting a 20% on that, then, what's that, seven extra points? Like, it will make a difference as far as hitting the capped, but like, it doesn't really, if your card's only hitting 35 points, you're not going to be winning divisions regardless of the bonuses attached to them, right? You still need cards to do well. You still need your cards to score well. I think, especially for the cap modes, I think the collectability bonus or the collection bonus is going to play not a vital role, but there's definitely a supplementary role there where I think, if you're in those 2 to 3%, I think it's that's where the sweet spot is without completely going crazy. Like, don't get me wrong. If you're a massive Arsenal fan, why wouldn't you want to go out and buy every Arsenal player to get that 5%? I kind of understand it. I'm not really a fan of any team. I support Wales. I don't really support a team. I just support the players that are in my Sorare gallery, to be honest. And yeah, I can't really see myself ever buying a whole team just because of the collectability bonus. Even though there's an argument to say there is a big advantage for it, especially in the cap modes, I think. Trying to hit that threshold. I know the points have gone to 300 now. So it used to be you need to hit 250 points to hit the cap, to hit the Ethereum payout. Now it's gone to 300 points as of last week. But it hasn't been implemented yet. So we got told that last week. It's going to be implemented, in September. To kind of conclude this sort of mini rant / video, I do think it's going to play a massive role in limited, as far as the collectabilities. I think a lot more players are going to have that 5 and 4%. If you're going into limited and you've got like 0% collectability on your cards, you're at such a disadvantage compared to these stacks that are going to have 5%. Like I said, in rare, I think it's going to be less prominent. It's still going to be a thing. There's still users out there who are, avid collectors and they're going to get the 4 to 5%. I think that the 2 to 3% is realistic for most people. The 2%, what do you need? 100 points to get to 2%. I don't think that's, incredibly hard to get. It is if you're just buying the cards off the secondary market, because you only get 10 points for that, and then you get another 10 points in 90 days. So you would need to buy 5 players and wait 90 days. If you're buying them all off the secondary market to get to that 100 points, you do need to be buying cards off the auction or winning those cards, obviously, right? Because you get the first owner bonus. So, for example, this Nishikawa, I bought him, from Sorare, from the auction. So it's my card. It has one max owner, which is the 20 points. It's a serial. It's a 1 of 100, which is great. I get 30 points. I'm still waiting for my 10 points for the 90-day of not listing / transferring the card. I own the card, so you get 10 points. And then it's a jersey mint as well, so I get another 30 points. So like, this would get me 100 points. I think 100 points is kind of the max, unless it was a special edition. I think 120 points then would be the max you could get on a card. So I played it strategically, buying. I bought a bundle and they were all 1 of 100. So Nishikawa, Yoshida, Mataori, and then Kazumi as well. So that really helps. I've got really lucky in the fact that I've only got 6 cards from this collection, and I've managed to get 3%. Like, that is not realistic for every person. Basically, it's just not, because there's so many 1 of 100s and they're first owned here. So that's kind of where I think, the 2% is the realistic spot for most collections. Like, for example, I want to try and hit 2% on my Real Madrid collection. I've only got 2 cards. I've got a first owner, Vinny, and he won't ever gain more points than 40. He's never been listed, and he's a new card, and I own him. So 40 points is his max. Rodrigo, I recently acquired. I don't know what happened with my screen there, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. But basically, I got Rodrigo in. So I can only gain another 10 points off him. So his max is 20 points. So I'd be on 60 max, right? And then, I need another 40 points from somewhere to get me to this 2%, which, it isn't easy. It's not like terribly hard, but I don't want to go out and buy like a Carvajal or, players that I'm not going to use. Like, I just don't see the point in really doing it at rare level anyway. You're spending like 50, 60, 70 pounds on cards that I'm not really going to get much use out of. Yeah, I might throw them in cap mode now and again, but I have enough surplus elsewhere to do that. I think it just clogs up the gallery. And don't get me wrong, it's clever of Sorare to kind of, put this on us and make us kind of need to collect more cards and increase our galleries. Like, I get it. I was way more streamlined than I am right now. Like I said, I've got 71 rares, 38, super rares. A couple months ago, I only had like 40 rares. So like, I've kind of doubled my rare intake because I know the collectibles thing, it will matter somewhat, but I'm not going too overboard with it. That's just my preference on it. I don't want to buy a load of cards I'm never going to use just for this collectability. I just don't think it makes that much of a difference, especially at rare level. Like I said, at limited, it might be a bit different, or it will be different because the supply is just greater there, and a lot more people are going to have these 5%, stacks. It is what it is. So, you have to find your edge, and you have to be able to keep up with these guys, and I think that 2 to 3% is where the sweet spot is at any level, but especially at rare. If my gallery was a limited gallery, then I would be aiming to try and get 4% maybe on a lot of my cards, because I do think you'll need that down there, because there's just so many cards, so many different stacks, and that's just kind of, it is what it is. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, guys. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section, what your strategy is as far as collectible bonuses are concerned. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great game week, and I shall see you guys in the next video.